Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. Actually, Thomas Matthew sir, Expedite was named by Dr. Carroll 2 years back. And I thought of remembering that expansion, but I forgot it. If Dr. Carroll is in there in our team, please, or somebody from my team, if you remember the full form of Expedite, please can you share it? Okay, you can remember it while I go through the introduction. Somebody?
I asked Dr. Carol, she also doesn't remember now.
Okay, we have written it somewhere. I will let you know before the end of the workshop. Okay. So what I would like to tell you is the context, some of which I have already shared. Introduce you to the concept of research, motivate you to develop your protocol and finish your protocol along with this workshop by December 2015, and also the roadmap of this 2 weeks. So COVID-19, I need not tell you, was the ultimate challenge as we have already discussed. And I should say that community medicine department, the initial months of COVID, we were really staff challenged. We didn't have many people. And our burden extended not only in the hospital, we were taking duties. My staff was taking duty in the hospital. There was very good work in the Rural Health Training Center, where Dr. Rekha and her team did very good cluster containment and all the activities. Similarly, in Urban Health Training Center, Dr. Carol was in both were block MOs and doing all the activities of a block MO round the clock. And we were also helping the district administration in capacity building. And I place special thanks to Thomas Matthew sir for building up my team so that I was able to perform in this workshop, because it is the team which helped me. And we believe every challenge, every adversity contains within it the seeds of opportunity and growth. And that is what you see just now. And that is how we did the collaboration. In order to prevent COVID challenges, we teamed up. And Moodle Zoom, planning for effective learning of our PGs, because we knew that we would not get you for 3 full days as before during this COVID season. And once again, I place on record my heartfelt thank you to all our collaborators, interdisciplinary, interinstitutional, and faculty of community medicine, which includes my residents also. Now, research thesis, the necessary evil for any postgraduate. I wonder if you could, if you have undertaken a thesis before or a dissertation before. However, it is mandatory. And before going to that, I would like to remind you the roles you are expected to fulfill. Each doctor is expected to fulfill competently after graduation. That is one of a clinician who does preventive, promotive, curative, palliative, and rehabilitative work with compassion. The second one you just note, it is a lifelong learner. Your learning doesn't end here. You're going to be a lifelong learner, a self-directed learner. You're going to be a leader and team member, communicator and a professional. All these are the roles which the Medical Council of India envisaged from any medical graduate, be it graduate or postgraduate. So if you look in your PG curriculum, you can find that lifelong learner or self-directed learner, the goal is to inculcate the culture of scientific inquiry and pursuit. And maybe the skills you should acquire is be able to critically evaluate the medical literature and in the care of the patient. And for this, you need to be able to develop a research question and be sensitized with research methods as it applies to the care of the patient. So what I wanted to tell you is that undertaking a research, knowing research methodology, involving in the pursuit of scientific methods and inquiry is very important for any doctor. So the concept of research. Without an element of uncertainty, life is a meaningless game. We find uncertainty everywhere. And it is very easy to talk about uncertainty in this time of COVID-19. So actually, when you talk about research, you are trying to solve an element of uncertainty. That is what you try to do in research. So this element of uncertainty for us starts with an issue to be solved. It could be a clinical issue, it could be a health related issue. This element of uncertainty is what drives us towards research. So think of an example. A patient come of around 70 years old, history of has got mild COPD and on bronchodilator. When coming to you now, also in COVID time. So you would like to know the diagnosis. Is it COPD or being it COVID time, is it COVID or any other alternative? There is an uncertainty. Then you start solving this uncertainty step by step by each of your approach. So maybe some of the clinical issues that you may face is with regard to frequency of a disease. How often does this disease occur? What proportion of population has acquired COVID-19? Second question is the patient sick or well? What are the factors associated with an increase? What are the consequences of having a disease, which again turns to prognosis? How accurately can you diagnose a disease, say COVID-19, with the test that we have? How does treatment change the course of a disease? Does early detection and treatment improve the course of a disease? Participants, can you please mute your... I don't know, there is some amount of echoing. I don't know how it happens. Please mute. Okay. Does early detection and treatment improve course of a disease? Does behavioral changes prevent the person from acquiring the disease? Which means prevention. And what conditions lead to disease?
Madam, I think you should correct your audio, no, because it is.
My audio is okay. I have been in many Zooms, like when the audio was okay.
Devraj, can you please look into it, like what's happening? So
is it something wrong?
Actually, I think there is some speaker also there, which the echo is coming. The audio is clear. Some echo is also coming. Small echo is there.
I don't have any speaker with me. I have been using the same Zoom today, morning, afternoon. So I don't know.
I agree with madam. If everyone others can mute, I think it should be fine. I can find someone who's not mute.
Someone else is also not mute, maybe.
Devraj, can you
ma'am, I will do one.
Mute
please
mute everyone and I will
unmute me.
Ma'am, I will mute everyone right now and you can unmute afterwards and speak.
Unmute me and ask me that, tell me that I am unmuted. Then only I can speak.
Yeah. Madam, you can unmute now. And
right. Can you hear me?
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So the clinical challenges that the doctors face may be a diagnostic challenge, like what do the patient have, or a prognostic challenge, what will happen. So for a diagnostic and prognostic challenge, maybe you go on for descriptive research, for which you will be dealing with the descriptive research in the Moodle. Again, another set of clinical challenges that the doctors face may be an etiological challenge as to why this disease occurs or what causes, or a therapeutic challenge. For example, does plasma therapy improve the prognosis? Will therapy help? And if so, which therapy? So these two etiological challenges and therapeutic challenge will go as part of causal research or analytical research. I needn't tell you the importance of research. We are all waiting eagerly for the COVID-19 vaccine. So the importance of research, I need not tell this group. All I want to tell you is that the research process or the role of a researcher is to translate a clinical problem or a challenge into a meaningful research question, a very meaningful research question that can be studied using systematic methods in a sequential series of steps for a valid inference. There is a tendency to discard research or disregard research as telling, because many of the examples which you may see is of research being shabbily done. But good research translates the clinical problem or challenges into a meaningful research question. And that is what we expect from each one of you. And understanding the process of doing this is what you should learn when you are a postgraduate student. So the research process involves identifying a topic, framing a meaningful research question from it, searching the literature for the same, selecting the appropriate study design and the study subjects, collecting data the appropriate way, analyzing the data in the correct manner, inference, collecting your inference and doing the thesis writing. Now, where do research ideas come from? Of course, maybe from pure inspiration, very rare, or from clinical experience, observing the patients, doubts raised by a colleague, or critical reading, or from conference or seminar, speaking to other researchers. But for our JR, all our junior residents who are quite new, maybe 6 months old into that particular discipline, your guide or your mentor may be the appropriate person to discuss the content and to discuss take up. One common fallacy is your research topic or research idea is like an apple. Many of us try to gobble up at one go. What we want to convey is try to take a small bit of it, something which you can gobble up. And our endeavor is to make you realize or fine-tune your research topic to a specific one and help you to frame a research question and finally a protocol. Writing, that is the skill you need to acquire, and protocol is something like a blueprint. We are all familiar with blueprints. It's something like a blueprint. And the steps, this is the format for the protocol we are going to write. And we have planned this Moodle in this way. If you look at the Moodle or look at the topics, you can find that we have first put searching the literature. That is because unless and until you search the literature, you won't be able to finally clinch upon a good research topic or a research question. So we have arranged the topics in such a way that by the end of these 2 weeks, you will be able to complete your protocol side by side. So let's just go through the format for the protocol for introduction's sake, the project title that may come later, introduction, rationale or background. This you will get only after a good search of literature. So you need to know how to search the literature and review it, which Dr. Anuba and Dr. Devraj will help you through. Then framing a research question, I think Dr. Vishwala will be helping you through. And all my faculty members will deal with different aspects of methodology, that is study design, study setting, study period, study population, and study subjects with inclusion and exclusion criteria. Let me tell at the outset, one of the common mistakes that PGs do is you say inclusion criteria, children below the age of 10 years. Then you say exclusion criteria, those above the age of 10 years. No. Exclusion criteria, you have to exclude from those whom you have included. We'll come back to this again. The sample size, the sampling technique, the study variables, procedure, the data collection tool, data management and analysis. Very important, which Kalakeshwan Madam will deal with, and expected outcome, and how to write good reference. Then your annexures should include good questionnaire, consent forms, participant information sheet where you inform the participant what your research is. You have to plan upon a good budget, practical budget, and a timeline of your studies. And if possible, for clear thinking, dummy tables. We'll deal with it later, but I just want you to know that these are the processes that you have to finally go along as we go along through the Moodle. And maybe looking at it in a different lens, we are just trying to answer why. Why should we embark on this research problem? That is the introduction and objectives. How you do it is your methodology, which includes the study design, study process, data collection techniques, data analysis. Who, that defines the study population, where the study setting, when the study period, what the variables and outcomes. So what? Why should you do it? The expected significance. This is just viewing the protocol from another lens, a different lens. And one more thing which I want to remind you, the key principle in protocol writing or framing a protocol is alignment. Your title should align with your research question. Your study design should be in alignment with your research question. The study tool should be appropriate for the study design and the research question. And your research inference should also be in alignment. So if you have succeeded in aligning all this, you get a good research question, you would have done a good study, and you would have got a good thesis. And wishing you all the best for this. And what we expect from you is to attend maximum Zooms. Of course, there is a concern, what if you are on duty? Inform me in our common WhatsApp that you are on duty. We will have alternate arrangement. Access the Moodle in your time, in your free time. Go through the video, attend one assignment. There is a small evaluation at the end of video, without which you cannot go on to the next. Then go on to the next video. Pace. Develop protocol along with your mentor from the department, along with this Moodle. Plan group work and attend group Zooms. And attempt the evaluation at the end and get certificates. Above and all, this is a first ever venture, as I have always repeated, and your feedback and your experience counts a lot. So